How's it going, everybody? Doing a gum chewing. Game impression video here today of The Last of Us Part 2. This came out in 2020, so a lot of you probably played it. If you wanted to, I didn't think I'd ever get to play it, so I actually saw when the game got leaked, the cutscenes and shit. I saw a lot of those. I'm about 13 hours in so far, and I just wanted to talk about it. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I'm up to, there will be spoilers here. So if you have not played this game yet, there'll be spoilers up into what I played. So if you don't want to be spoiled, I guess you shouldn't watch this, even though I want you to, but I am up to Jesse. I'll start from the beginning. The beginning starts with a recap. Joel's talking to Tommy, and he's like recapping, kind of. He's telling him what happened at the end of the first game. When he killed all the doctors and shit because Ellie, they were going to have to kill Ellie to get the cure because Ellie's immune. But he's like, fuck that. Kills all of them, takes her. And then you ride back. That's the only time you use Joel, I believe, at this point. And then you're doing patrols, and you don't play as Ellie first. You play as another character, Abby. Now, I saw these cutscenes, so I know what the fuck happened here. It happened. I'll talk about it in a minute. But she's looking for Joel. Her and another group are hanging out in this mansion. The one guy, Owen, I believe his name is, found their settlement, their community that they have. I forget what it's called, but they find it, and then Abby's like, I'm gonna go try to find a patrol and get information. And then it starts snowing really bad, and you use her for a little bit. Game has really good hand-to-hand combat. You gotta dodge, and then she punches, and she's stronger than Ellie was. I only used her in a little bit, Abby, but that's going on, and then you're also using Ellie and her friend Dina, who's her love interest in this. So they're hanging out doing stuff. They're looking for infected or whoever else might be wandering around. And they find this other guy who had died. He was part of the community too. I forget his name. They find his stash of weed he was growing. So they get high, the two of them, and they, make out and all this shit. And then the other guy, Jesse, comes in, who used to be with Dina, but he knows now. He's like, yeah, I know you're... Because I guess Ellie and Dina had kissed in a public function, and this other guy said something. I was some random dude, I guess. And he apologizes to her, but this guy Jesse comes in and sees it and doesn't really get pissed because he was with Dina, but doesn't really... I guess it was a mutual breakup. They don't hate each other or anything. I don't know how old Ellie's supposed to be here. I want to say she was like 13 at her oldest in the first one, and maybe she's like... I think this is 4 years ago, but I don't know. I think there's 4 years past at a point in this one. So maybe she's 17, 18. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know Joel. I don't know how old Joel is either, to be honest with you, or Tommy or the rest of them. But you're going out on patrols with her and you're using a horse. You both have horses in this one you're using. You get some combat scenarios. I'll talk about all that in a few minutes. But then Abby eventually runs into Joel and Tommy, and they help her out. You do some shit combat, blah, blah, blah. And this is where, big spoiler, but I already knew this was coming because I saw some of the leaked footage. Joel gets killed here. Abby finds them. They come in and they're like, oh, my name's Tommy. And he's like, I'm Joel. And then she shoots Joel in the knee. Beats him death at the golf club. Ellie eventually comes because they don't show up from there after their patrol. So like, oh shit, what happened? And then she's held down. Tommy, they don't kill Tommy or Ellie, obviously. They knock her out. She cuts one of the people in the face. face, and then they leave. They knock her out, and they leave, and then Ellie's like, we gotta, get revenge. And Tommy's like, Joel wouldn't. She's like, Joel would be halfway to Seattle by now if it was one of us. And that's the truth. Eventually, Tommy's like, just give me a day, and I'll talk to Maria, I believe, who's, I guess, the head of the community. Because she's like, we don't want to lose any more people and all this other shit. But Tommy leaves beforehand, right? To do this on his own, and then Ellie's like, no, I'm going, and then Dina goes with her. So at this point, you're playing as Dina and just as Ellie, but Dina's with you. The game looks incredible. Like, it's a gorgeous looking game. All the characters look great. Voice acting's phenomenal. All the environments look nice. We have overgrown stuff, blown out shit, destroyed roads and stuff. Because I guess the military bombed some places to get rid of stuff. Sorry about the coughing. It looks nice. You go to Seattle. That's where I guess they're from. They find out someone has a patch. It's like a wolf in WLF or something, right? I think it's the Washington Liberation Front ends up being called. So you go there. This was really fun, this part. I enjoyed this, and this is very early on. And honestly, the Joel thing, even when I saw it, didn't bother me that much. Now, I don't know why Abby did it. I'm not going to say why I think she did it. Because I thought I heard that too, but she has a reason, clearly. And they didn't kill the other two because, well, they weren't looking for them. There's no, I guess, reason to. I guess they probably should have, though. Because now they're on a rampage, but this didn't bother me too much in the sense that I kind of figured you'd be playing as Ellie even at the end of the first game. I'm like, it's going to transition into using her. And maybe Joel's like a sidekick and he's just hanging out, or maybe switch back and forth. But you do get flashback scenes where Joel's still there, and it kind of actually dampens it a little bit because you're like, well, there he is again. Oh wait, he's dead, but he's still popping up everywhere. They can't leave him out of there, but I think that's supposed to hit at home for Ellie. Like, oh no, he's gone. The only thing I would say about that is that it happened. It was kind of just like, oh, they shot him, and then she hits him with a golf club, and then Ellie comes in, and he's been hit multiple times with it, and then he gets killed. Kind of wasn't. I figured there'd be more of a struggle there, but I'm surprised it didn't happen a little later in the game. But whatever. Like I said, it looks really nice. Like you're in Seattle, and I go to the downtown area, you find a map. This was really cool because I'd have the map, and then either they're writing on. She's jotting down points of interests and stuff, and when you go to these places, like you find a note or something, you're like, oh, there's a cache still here or supplies here, and you go and a few of these places you go to, like set places you have to go to, they're infected in there. A few they got to take out. An Easter egg here is that you're in a bank. You go to a bank, and you get into the safe. There's a lot of safes in this game. You gotta find the codes. It's usually hidden. You find a node, and you gotta figure out some parts of it. And you get into the safe, and then you find out, like, these people tried to rob the bank on the outbreak day because they thought everybody else, the cops, would be interested in other shit. And one of the guys got bit, and they threw him in the thing. He ended up killing himself. But you find Drake's ring from Uncharted, the one he wears. I don't know if it's on his fingers around his neck, I forget, but I saw it, I forget what it says on it. I'm like, that sounds like the Uncharted thing. And I'm like, oh, it is. With date and everything. I thought that was kind of a cool Easter egg. But you have clickers, the runners. I came across one bloater in a flashback, and there's new ones, shamblers, and there's one that, like, shoot out, like, kind of acid at you, and when you kill them, they, like, burst into acid as well. And you get poison bite and you die faster. But yeah, you're in Seattle, and this was really cool. Like, this is the kind of shit I like. I almost want to, maybe there are games, if you guys know of any, tell me of them, where I'm just exploring and looking for supplies and occasional combat. But I'm like, oh shit, there's a safe, I gotta get the code. Oh, let's find a hidden way way into this building and stuff. I really enjoyed that, and I got the Sightseer trophy because I explored every part of the downtown Seattle. And you're finding notes and papers, and it's actually worth reading them because you find out some of the stories of these other people, and a lot of it's kind of fucked up, which I guess you'd expect. But, and it was funny, I was saying to myself, and the combat is good in this game, but you know, the supplies are somewhat limited. You know, you can upgrade your guns, upgrade your, you get pills and shit, you can upgrade your trees, and you find magazines, and then you open up a new tree of stuff you can upgrade, stealth related, health related, combat related. You get the tool benches, and you can upgrade your guns and shit, which with the little parts you find around the environment. You collect those cards, those superhero type cards you can collect. I've been finding a bunch of those. She'll take some journal notes. This game does a lot of shit that Uncharted does. Like, instead of jamming on triangle on this one to get their things open, you just hold it. Things are being lifted up. You gotta crawl through space. The combat is better in this than Uncharted. Every enemy, if you're gonna shoot him, unless you hit him in the head, 3 shots takes him out. Unless you hit him with like your rifle, will kill him quicker. Shotgun will. You can stealth. I've been stealthing people, but sometimes I just I fuck it up. Sometimes Dina is not great at helping out because like I'm being shot and the enemy's running in front of her and she's just sitting there like doing nothing, and then the enemy focuses on me. I like that part, and then you get to the other part. There's like a hotel in the town because I guess this group that Abby's a part of took over Fedra, the military, took them out over time. Little war going on in there, and now they run the place, but they're just as fucked up as the military was. And then you find out that Tommy's gotten to these people first. He's tortured some people, you see, and shit. So Tommy's a little bit ahead of you. And I'm like, man, this game hasn't pissed me off yet. And I swear, like, 10 minutes later, it's just you at this point because you go to a theater with Dina, and another spoiler, you find out she's pregnant from, I guess, her ex, Jesse. And then Ellie gets pissed, and they make up, though. But she's sleeping, and then she's like, I'm going to go out. And Dina's, like, figuring out where they are and shit. You go to a news station at one point, that's cool, and there's another group, I guess, the Scars. I haven't come across any of the people yet, but you've seen their handiwork. They're fighting against the WLF. And, you know, and the thing is, and I come across, like, I'm like, oh, it's not pissing me off. I come across, like, 20 enemies, and they have fucking dogs now, too, so all of a sudden, I'm like, this is a dog killing simulator, because the dogs will sniff you out, and you have to keep moving, so they lose the scent, or you can throw a bottle or a brick, and they'll get distracted. But I stealth a few, and then there's more. They're, like, everywhere, because you hit the one button, and you can listen in and kind of see their, like, a blur of them. And they keep coming, so I'm bashing dogs, I'm shooting dogs, I'm stealthing some people. Other people I have to shoot. I finally got past this part. I died like 3 or 4 times. The checkpoints are pretty good, though, once you get past kind of a little group of them. There had to be at least 20 people and like 5 dogs in this area. But the combat is good, though, but it's just, it like takes away, like I want to kill them all regardless because I want to explore all these buildings where there's supplies, because supplies matter, right? Ammunition, all that other bullshit. Because you can craft, obviously, Molotov cocktails, and you can find other things. Occasionally throughout the game you find other little bombs, and then you can make those. There's like a stun bomb, a smoke bomb, a trap mine type bomb. What was I going to say? Oh, you can craft health kits and Molotov cocktails and whatever. Oh, you can also, like, if you have a melee weapon, you can upgrade that with, like, nails in it. So it lasts longer and does more damage. Ellie is a little, like, Abby was kicking ass on these things, and Ellie uses a knife and it takes her a little longer, but the combat's still good unless too many runners get around you and then they'll start fucking you up. Clickers will one-hit you like the other game if you fucking don't kill them quick enough or stealth them. But man, there was a lot of human enemies here, guys, and I was like, whatever. Because after that, there's a cool scene where Jesse comes back. He's been following you, and you've been following Tommy. And you're in a car, and he's driving. You gotta shoot him, and shit happens. And then after that, like, you go back to the theater. Everybody the three of you meet up, and then I'm about to go out again. That's where I'm at. But I have been enjoying it. I know a lot of people are flipping out about the story stuff and Joel getting killed. Honestly, I didn't. Whatever. I was like, I'm not connected enough to his character to give enough of a shit. Because I also thought I thought I'd be using Ellie more anyway, and now I am. But they do a good enough job of saying this is her revenge mission. It says it on the back too. It's her vengeance mission, you know. So it makes sense. Like I said, it happened a little too early in the game, in my opinion. And then, like I said, I've done like 2 different cutscenes with him and her, but a couple years prior. And it's like you forget now he's dead, and for me it kind of ruins it because I'm like, oh wait, he's dead. Now he's still in the game though now. You know, it's like he's dead now. Maybe talk about him and shit, but he's gone. You know, or have him die a little later. Whatever. I mean, like I said, all the acting was very well done. The voice acting and shit. There's also some decent like dialogue. If you like go and do something, they'll have a dialogue. I'm trying to do this a little bit too. Like, oh, why are you doing that, or why that happened, you know, or whatever. I really like it though. The combat's cool, but I love that part in downtown Seattle where I was exploring buildings and finding shit and getting these save codes. It was awesome. I would have done that for 20 hours with occasional combat things and here and there. You can rappel down stuff as well and up stuff. Occasionally find things. And you crawl underneath. You can go prone and hide in the tall grass. Because there's vegetation everywhere. Like I said, all this stuff looks fantastic. But I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because I am enjoying it quite a bit. Like, I've only started playing it Friday night. And I haven't played it today, but I'm filming this Monday night. But Tuesday night, but Wednesday. I only played it on like 3 or 4 different days. And I'm already just like, oh, I gotta play more of it, you know. I don't know how much more. I think I found out some other things through the leaks, but I can't remember for sure, so I'm not going to try to look it up again. I'm going to see if it happened the way I thought it did. So I don't know, like Abby, I know Abby obviously was motivated in killing Joel, but apparently there's a little rift too, because even when it was happening, Owen's like, come on, we're done, you know, let's finish this, you know, we don't need to kill Ellie and Tommy as well. I don't know if he'll use Tommy at some point. But you know, they set up the revenge story fine. It's just I think it happened a little too quickly. I will say that's what I kind of liked about Uncharted 4. The end, nobody died. There was no like shock death. They all lived, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, sometimes it's refreshing to have that. But I do like it though. The combat is really good. It's just I'm alright at stealth, but when I get spotted, I'm like, ah, shit. Like, I don't sometimes have the patience to want to stealth everybody. And then like I said, all of a sudden the dogs come in. I'm like, oh, great, I'm going to have to fucking kill a bunch of dogs now. Great. Because they'll come at you. They'll fucking sniff you out. I've stealthed around a few parts, but I don't like to leave areas unsearched, you know. There's a few parts where I was able to stealth everybody, but this one, there's too many of them. I'm thinking I'm ripping it up with stealth and someone's behind me, and then another 5 people come because they hear noise. I have a shotgun. I found that in the bank. Now, technically, if you don't go to the bank, you're not going to get that. So it pays to look at wherever you can. I got a shotgun rifle, 2 handguns, and I got the bow now. I got a bow and arrow now as well. But it's been good. The combat's great. It looks great. The story is decent. It's French tale, but the acting's all well done. I haven't run into any like random like bullshit or anything. Like the combat was just annoying, and it's just because I'm so into just searching and almost wanting minimal combat because I love just searching around, you know. I'm probably forgetting a few things, but I really do enjoy it quite a bit. I'll do a review because I don't get extra distracted, because you never know when these combat scenarios come into play. They do a good job in some points of where you think there's going to be combat, and there isn't. So I'll give them that. I used a sniper rifle too at one point when I was doing a flashback scene with Tommy, and then Joel. And oh yeah, and the guitar now, like Joel was teaching you to play guitar, so now you find guitars, and you start like playing. It's kind of cool actually. You use the thumbstick and you strum with that middle button on the PlayStation 4 controls. It's kind of cool. But like, it's kind of weird. You go to a guitar store and there's a bunch of guitars there, and you pick one up, and I think you start playing. And then she comes on across another guitar in the theater, and she's like, "Oh wow!" And we're like, though she didn't find 20 an hour ago. But I'm really enjoying it though. I just want to kind of do some gum-chewing impressions on it. I don't know if maybe they're gonna off Dina. I bet you Jesse bites it. I don't know if Tommy's gonna make it. Who knows? But yeah. Thanks for checking us out, and have a good